Hey everybody, welcome to some special pre-release coverage for Dark Souls 3. This was given to me, this access was given to me by Namco Bandai. Bandai Namco, you know them. By any other name would a rose smell so sweet, is what I'm trying to say. And I haven't played too much so far, I've only played a couple of hours, so you're going to experience the game with me with a lot of surprises along the way, and get your Bloodborne jokes out of the way. When's Bloodborne come? Okay, you know what? You're hilarious. It's the funniest, one of the funniest 13,000 people who's told me that joke in the past year. This is on PC, so it's much easier for me to record. But anyway, Episode 0, skippable if you don't care about the opening cutscene or character creation, because that's all I'm going to do in this episode. So without further ado, why don't I crank up the volume a little bit here. We'll hit new game and then get started. I'll be back when the cutscene's done. But we're going to try to make our own here, which is half of the fun of Dark Souls. Make them just look hideous. But we're going to do that in just a second. First, we're going to go through the builds that you can get in the game. Burly, very burly. Burly upper body, burly lower body. Small head, large head. I find that it looks really funny to kind of go back and forth between these, but in-game you don't notice it that much. But I'll take large head, because in real life I actually have like a pretty large head. I don't really have that 6-pack. I actually have a 12-pack. It's like a 6-pack on each side. I can do like 10 crunches in a row, so I'm pretty strong. Musculature, standard, muscular. We want to go to the extremes in From Software games for character creation because it just looks ridiculous. Absolutely thick body hair. And then let's make the head as large as possible. Is there any way to just do it even faster than this? I'm not sure. Chest. We want that to be maybe as small as possible. I really want to emphasize the tiny-headedness of this individual. Oh, but this is also affecting... No, I can't believe you would do this to me From Software, not allow me to move them all independently. We can make the legs real tiny, but this isn't quite getting it across here. Oh, left bumper, right bumper, changed by 10. Base skin color. Normally here, I just want to make it as sickly as possible. I already know Nick's gonna make Shrek. Like, don't even have any question about that. So we'll start by just taking all pigment out here. And then we'll go... Not all pigment, but all RGB value at least. We can make our characters so iridescently red as to be actually physically painful to look at. It gets worse. This has turned us into a creature that was created by Ivan Ooze. Ivan Ooze. It's been a while since I've seen the Power Rangers movie. We could, of course, be glowing purple. I kind of like the idea of actually being just like a human skin color. And then maybe we'll be able to experience a little bit more of the actual facial detail. But let's throw our own little spin on it a little bit. Like, it's crazy how like one change in the green value can, like, relatively human, sick but possibly human, actually from another planet. That's like the spectrum that we're on here. What if we just take a little bit more out here? Like, that's kind of cool. We can look hideous but still have like a cool, completely ashen skin tone. And then I just completely lost it. Wait, come back here. I just want to be like one notch away from something that is humanly possible. Preferably like one notch towards... Yeah, there we go. Like straight up Magic the Gathering-esque vampire or something. This confuses me. We have different layers of skin color that we can change. Alright, this is... I don't even know what's going on here. We want to be... Absolutely we want to be rosy. Why did I even question it? Now he just looks like a really sunburned vampire. Nose bridge colored. Oh, absolutely bright red. Get that proboscis out there. This is strange. In a way, it's making me a little bit uncomfortable, but I can get down with that. Let's give him some nice laugh lines. This is maybe not the most hideous Thornforge I've ever seen. But let's wait until we can get all the way down here. Facial aesthetic. Full-on masculine or full-on feminine. Think the feminine, in this case, is starting to... Okay, this is why you wait a little bit until you rotate the camera to the right. So you can see this. Okay, I mean, weak looks alright. But I think we hit a peak somewhere around strong with quite literally the flattest nose I've ever seen. Okay, so we're getting there now. Facial shape. Facial balance. Is there any way I could just do not balanced at all? Okay, this is it. I'm starting it. It took a second. I know if you're watching this, you're probably like, you're never gonna get a hilarious looking character that way. Oh. Oh, is that is that so? I have a tendency to disagree with you. We're basically creating a bird at this point. Okay, forehead and glabella. Well, you can stand under my character's glabella. That might be true. You might be able to stand under my character's glabella. And if you're saying, get on with it. The second episode's coming, man. Or the first episode is coming, depending on your perspective. I just figured it made sense to go for one video of character creation to show off stuff that Soulsy folks might be interested in. And also gives me a chance to just create the world's most frightening monster. See that we've gone back to normal in that sense, but the nose is starting to make me uncomfortable. I don't know why every trait in the facial creation here seems to deal with our nose, but it is what it is. If you told me that From Software actually used their character creator here to make every enemy in the game, I would probably believe you at this point. It's the fact that it's also, like, bright red that freaks me out. It's almost like the tip is even redder. Okay, keep cranking on this. Oh, dude, the nostrils? No, this is getting worse. It's getting to the point where I'm almost uncomfortable with the way that my character looks. I mean, it's quite the proboscis there. There we go. That's a little bit better. Nasal size has not been affected whatsoever here. Well, we gotta make her smile. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Oh, do not ever discard my changes. Mouth protrusion. What does this even mean, mouth protrusion? Like a mouth protrusion. We've basically created the Joker. Hey, girl! Are you a Dark Souls character? Because I've noticed that you have a mouth-chin distance of 255. Is it wrong that I think we've kind of created, like, Cate Blanchett's sister that has been hidden away by her family in favor of her other daughter that is her other sister, I guess I should say, that stays in the spotlight? Like, we've created we are a street artist who has drawn a caricature of a hungover Cate Blanchett. Well, don't cry, just because yeah, she looked like she was gonna cry. Alright, only 2 more things left here. This is getting a little bit exhausting here. Look, it's gone on too far. I really like that, actually. Okay. Just give me, like, some bright blue or green hair. This is beautiful. This is now truly a Thorn Forge for the ages. A Thorn Forgery, I should say. And, of course, the eyebrows should be bright blue. If they did... if they didn't want me to create a character like this, they wouldn't have made the character creation so, oh, Jesus. They wouldn't have made the character creation so, customizable. Ah, whatever. The eyelashes don't matter at this point. Color of pupils. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with... they have pink? Was that red? Nah, it blends in with the skin too much. It's beautiful, piercing blue eyes. And then... oh, my lord. This is actually hurting my eyes. Now we've made him like a Mad Max character if we go that way, but where's the fun in that? Look, I just want you to look into this creature's eyes and see the face of your god. Get like a fucking bitchin' tattoo of a dragon on your head or something. Yo, dude, I just really like Christopher Nolan's Batman films, okay? That's why I got that tattoo. That makes it makes it look like a whale's tail is jumping out of my eyebrow. In fact, in that sense, I now have to go to the eyebrow, and I have to make it bright blue so that we can get this Free Willy jumping out of the ocean here. Oh, on the River Jordan. Well, now we can use that character whenever we please. Yeah, that's just beautiful. Okay to start game with this character. It's really the kind of character you should ask twice about. In this episode, we'll probably fight some enemies. I don't want to spoil too much. Get to an area, perhaps even. We may swing our sword a little bit. We're going to start with what is, you know, the Dark Souls-y version of the tutorial. So remember, when the bell tolls, the link to the fire is in danger. And the Lords of Cinder rise from their graves. But now we're rising from our grave in the Cemetery of Ash. We'll do the whole tutorial here, of course, and I'll read all the messages on the ground. I am connected to the game online, so there should be messages written by players, but maybe not in our tutorial area. So the controls are Dark Souls. If you've played Dark Souls before, you will be familiar with what's going on here. Left bumper is shield. I'm trying to parry to show off that left trigger is parry. Yo, don't kill me right off the bat here. You're not gonna believe me, but last night I parried this motherfucker first time. There are also backstabs. Look, I'm not gonna need my all 3 Estus for this tutorial, probably. We got a Fading Soul from him. You can backstep and you can also roll. There is no jump anymore, which honestly I think is... It limits the game in terms of like the platforming, kind of like secret areas they can have, but the jumping was always real wonky in Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. So, you know, I believe you me, I've tried all the requisite ways to get your character to jump. It seems like it's just a roll now, unless I'm missing out. Also, it would be for the best if I didn't just get my ass kicked in the tutorial. There we go. There we go. Let me read that. Dual wielding might not have been the term I was looking for. While two-handing, use right weapon skills. I have never done this in Dark Souls 3 yet. I guess this is like a riposte? So if a character tries to hit me, will I just like parry them or something? Or that is cool, man. Alright, so there's like a whole new moveset that way. Bloodstains are here, which means we must be connected online. You can see this guy. Oh, I'm dead. Way to go, dummy. You just got splashed on. Anyway, okay. We gotta pick up this here. Remove sword. I really thought that this was Artorias the first time I saw him. As you might have expected. I've tried to do everything to not fight this guy, man. When you see a big guy on the ground in Dark Souls, and then you can interact with him, you're like, please no. Just let me go to the bonfire. But this guy's real mad that we've taken his sword. But to fight him, we pretty much just execute Dark Souls 101, which is stab him in the dick and run around him. But I have fought some other bosses in the game. It's not a strategy that works on all of them. This guy kind of reminds me of like Dragon Rider from Dark Souls 2 in the sense that, you know, as you fight him, you're like, this is very Dark Souls-y. This is a big guy with a big weapon. Apparently, occasionally, he becomes a H.P. Lovecraft-esque demon from the abyss. Which is another theme that you're gonna probably see a little bit more of in Dark Souls 3 is these transforming enemies. We almost got him, just maybe a little two-hand action can finish it off. And that's Udex Gundyr dead here. Not really that much of a problem, all things considered. I think I might have had the volume a little too high there. But do keep in mind, this guy is the tutorial boss as well. At least I would describe him as the tutorial boss. And we have now become Embered, which I think is this game's version of human, but I'm not totally sure yet. I mean, if you're watching this in the future, have some sympathy. This is out, and I know like 2 people who have it, and I haven't talked to them yet. One thing you might be noticing at the bonfires, there's no level up option. It does kind of use the Dark Souls 2 mechanic of having to talk to an NPC to level up instead. And I think we're just about to get introduced to said NPC. Hey, check it out. Firelink Shrine. When I got here for the first time, it was like one of those moments where, like, you know, Gandalf rides back on the screen and you're like, "Well, Gandalf! Gandalf's here!" Okay, so we insert the sword of the boss into this, and that creates the bonfire for us. It also enables the ability for us to fast travel between bonfires. So it does have early fast travel like Dark Souls 2. And this kind of serves as a hub world that we use to travel further into the game. So we're going to move from here onto the High Wall of Lothric, which will be the next section. Let's check out these messages. Could this be a May the Flames guide thee? All the more, could this be a May the Flames guide? Great message. Applaud. We did it, team. You the real MVP. Could this be a May the Flames guide thee? All the more, could this be a May the Flames guide? Spouse ahead. You know, that's disparage. No, I'm not going to actually disparage it.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I am a firekeeper.
Twisted Firekeeper.
I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
Alright, so we can talk to her. Pretty much repeats what you've heard so far, but I'll show you the dialogue regardless.
Touch the darkness within me.
I believe in a thing called love.
Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
Just listen to the rhythm of my heart. We're gonna level up a little bit here. I'm the most boring, like, first-time Dark Souls player, or at least I should say when I play a Dark Souls game for the first time, I'm always like, what worked in Dark Souls 1? Well, few levels in Vitality, few levels in Endurance, typically has done good work for me. We'll talk to her as well.
Ashen one, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how. Ashen one, bring me souls plucked from their vessels.
Alright. I can do that. There's also a crestfallen warrior type character here.
Gives me conniptions.
You may notice the telltale blacksmithing sound of a man hitting a hammer onto an anvil. I'm just trying to remember where the heck that Joker even is here. And oh my, could this be another tie-in to Dark Souls 1? Time for friendship. You know what? You're goddamn right. You can also reinforce your weapon, but we don't have any Titanite shards, but we're gonna get them pretty soon here.
Hey, be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
Actually, Andre, what you're supposed to say is, don't get yourself killed out there. Alright. High Wall of Lothric. There should be a bonfire close by? Close by. Close by is good enough. Kind of reminds me of Undeadburg a little bit. Kind of reminds me of some of the early Bloodborne areas. There's our bonfire. This dragon appears to be dead, which is good for me. Yes, okay. Took a lot of courage to take a swing there, but I'm glad that I did. Now I feel a little bit more confident. You might have said, hey, don't hit that defenseless enemy. I don't think that guy's defenseless at all. Yo, you think this is my first Souls game, man? I'm not succumbing to an ambush like that. Definitely should not have two-handed, though. Alright, we got angry dude in there. And one of my favorite mechanics of the Dark Souls series has made its return. Giving yourself the horrible friction burns on your hands to get down ladders as soon as possible. Oh, I remember this part. This fucking dragon comes up here and just torches the shit out of everything. So I'm gonna S this, because if I don't S this, he's gonna make me S this. And the good news, if you like watching me succeed, is that we've made it to another bonfire. it's probably prudent at this point to go back and level up. You know, there's no real excuse not to. So let's do that. We'll go back to Firelink Shrine here. We could also reinforce our weapon if we had Titanite, but we don't have Titanite yet. We should get it soon. We'll level up Dex a little bit, not because I intend... it's the thing that I want to get across here. In Dark Souls, as the game got older, it became less about, like, beating the game and more about, hey, you're 2 seconds into the game, what weapon are you going to use for the rest of your life? You know, that was the community, I mean. And I don't even mean it as a bad thing. Let's talk to the Firekeeper here. I have no idea what we're going to spec our character as, so we're probably going to level pretty inefficiently, but if it lets us use the bow, that could be interesting at least. Again, this is not like the be-all, end-all playthrough here. Let's look at this. No, we only need 14 Dex. So we've got that done then. And we do need to... Oh, we don't need to equip arrows because we already got them equipped. I forget how to do this. Ah, there we go. Don't shoot that guy, though. Sweet. We can use that for kiting in the future. I also saw that there was a fog wall. That wasn't just me, right? You guys saw that fog wall? Where was that? You know what? That's the tutorial area. So they're basically saying to us, you can't go back to the tutorial area. That makes a whole lot of sense. With 247 souls, I don't really care about trying to buy anything else we can't level up against. Let's travel to Tower on the Wall. In my headcanon, these guys are like some dope-ass jailers or something like that. It seems like we're kind of in an underground prison or something like that. And until EMB or, you know, VadiVidya or something makes some Dark Souls 3 lore videos, I'm going to just make up my own lore here. And my own headcanon right now is that we're in some kind of underground prison near the Castle Lothric. So this door is locked. There's a person in there that I imagine could become useful to me somehow, but I have no idea how to actually get to them. So that's going to have to wait, again, for a later day. Maybe at some point I'll pick up a key or something. Probably in like 30 episodes. I'll pick up a key and be like, what's this key for? This also does not open, as you can see, unless I'm missing a lever or something. I'll be like, ooh, jail key? What's that? I haven't seen a jail. People will be like, Northernlion, episode 2 actually saw a jail. You should go back, you said. In fact, you predicted this exact situation would happen. Oh, right, my mistake. Now, I'm doing my best not to lion strat. But there are some situations coming up that I may lion strat a little bit because they scare the shit out of me. And you'll understand when we get there. This guy, I'm not used to him climbing up so quickly. Enemies kind of climb up from the walls like in Undeadburg. Parts of Undeadburg, at least in Dark Souls 1. Let's go to our equipment quickly here, because things are going to get buck wild in just a second. Do I have full HP? I have full HP. Okay. Kill these guys for some free souls. This is, again, a little spoilerific for the opening of the game. Huh, it's a message. That's an A+. That's some good shit right there. Good shit, that's some good shit right there. Check this out. This is a pretty important moment, I think, in Dark Souls 3. This guy becomes a fucking demon. I'm gonna use my fire bombs to toast him. We could probably kill him the old-fashioned way. And in fact, I would expect that to be much more cost-efficient. But he scares the shit out of me, so I figured we'd go for it. We got an Ember, which I basically think is humanity. Oh, and a Titanite shard as well. So my suggestion to myself is explore this area as much as possible. Because I don't want to fight that guy every single time. Oh, there's a freaking Titanite lizard here? No! Not on your life! Raw gem. So I'm assuming we use that to get, to ascend our weapons to raw. Or to like plus 15 or whatever. I didn't really mess around with rawness in Dark Souls. I was more of a, Quelaag's Fury Sword kind of guy. Ah, yes, I remember you. This area is a little annoying, because we got one crossbow man, and then he's got another friend who's a crossbow man. And they, unfortunately, invite, like, lots of people to the party here. There we go. And you're like, oh, we did it! We did it, team. No, we didn't do it. Because then next to other crossbow man, he's got another friend. And it's just I didn't realize I was at a crossbow man birthday party here. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We should have done a plunging attack there. Whoa! Oh, Jesus! What gave me pause is that in this game, when you do a plunging attack, you still take fall damage. Let's heal up to max here. So I was wary to just do it and then be hurt, but I guess if we just fell, we took the damage anyway, so pretty big tactical misstep there. Okay, that was worth it. We got the big guy killed. We're gonna need the rest of the bonfire sooner rather than later. This is a bad idea. You gotta learn when to press in Dark Souls, and that was not the moment. This is the moment. Beautiful. I think we're coming close to I think we're coming close to the bonfire, which is where I'm gonna call it for this episode probably, and then we'll fight the boss in the next one. Ooh, we got this. We got the cell key. Okay. I did not know that that was there. And an Estus shard, which we can use when we get back to Firelink Shrine to get one more use out of our Estus. Don't worry, I saw him. Oh, so we actually have something more to do than I'd originally anticipated. That's good stuff. We can fast travel pretty close to that cell, so we don't have to do that right now. I don't even remember where the next bonfire is. I do remember the next section is annoying. So, like this guy right here, I don't fuck around with this big man. You're gonna say, hey Northernlion, fuck around with this big man. To which I say no. He's too strong. Tried to roll off there, maybe save some HP, but didn't work. I don't mess with this guy. I'm not gonna mess with that guy either, because he's too close to that guy. He is aggroed, and we have selected the improper direction. This is a bad moment for us. Yep. That ladder is not gonna save us. Enemies can still hit us on a ladder. We have... Oh, I thought we got killed earlier there. We have been killed. And he has become... He's using the crack the sky attack. That's our first death. Which I guess is exciting. You know what? Before we end this episode, let's open the dude up in his cell, and then we'll go back to. I mean, we could upgrade our stuff, but since we're not going to do the boss in this episode, it's just too. The timing's not right. Let's meet whoever this is in this cell down here. Assuming this is what this key right here is what opens it. There's a lot of cells down here, but. I have to imagine cell key probably opens that dude up. And this will be new to me. I actually did not find the key on my last one. Or on my off-camera playthrough, so... Might be a little bit of novelty here.
Ah. You're no jailer, are you?
Told you they were jailers.
No, you're from far away.
But that is mostly going to do it for this episode. On the next episode, we're going to surmount that area with a large man who is heavily armored. It's locked. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, it is a series in its infancy. I appreciate you clicking the like button if you enjoyed it. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more Dark Souls stuff, Dark Souls 3 stuff in particular here. We got plenty more where this came from. But for now, thanks for watching. I'm just going to go rest of the bonfire, and I will see you guys next time.